Hey y'all, Latrell on a mission here. I am on a mission to live my best life here in the motherland, and I invite you guys to take that journey along with me. Hey y'all, Latrell on a mission here. Hold on. I am on a mission to live my best life here in the motherland, and I invite you guys to take that journey along with me. I have some. Yeah, Latrell. Okay, there we go. Now it's fixed. Sorry about that. Well, welcome to the live, you guys. I am waiting for my guest to arrive. Actually, he's here. Okay, so he's on now. All right, welcome. So you guys, today I have something special lined up. I have a gentleman here and his wife. They relocated to Egypt, and we're going to just talk to them about their experience and see, what it is that they like to do, see how it's going, and just hear from them, and so we can all just see how they feel about Egypt too, just like you guys know how I feel about Egypt. So I am going to bring them on right now.
Hello, Metro. How's it going?
Hi. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, loud and clear. Great.
Okay, awesome. All right, awesome. So welcome to the live. I hope you've had a great day today. Ramadan Kareem, everyone. If you would, please, to get this going, if you could just let everybody know who you are, where you're living in Egypt now, and where you came from. I think that's a good way to get started on the live today. Okay?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm not too sure what you just said, but let me try and fill you in, and I'll try my best. So I think that you said to me that you want an intro about myself. Is that right? If you can give me a thumbs up, because the connection is really bad here. Okay, cool. Oh, brilliant. Okay, so yeah, I'm a father of 5, born and raised in the UK. So I've throughout the last year and a half, I've been planning with my wife to make a big move, which is to migrate to Egypt and set up our base in Egypt, set up our home, and just to also do a gym business in Egypt. So hence why I am here. And yeah, just so that's a bit of background about myself in terms of my journey from the UK to Egypt. My background is in fitness. I'm a fitness manager from the UK. Been in the game for over 20 years. Worked with so many people from all aspects of life, from underweight, overweight, people who suffer with confidence issues. I help them, teach them, and coach them. Yeah, so that's a bit of, about myself in terms of what I do and what I'm about. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. Okay, so father of a 5. Okay, that's cool. And then, so you said that you were born and raised in the UK. What made you pick? Right. What made you pick Egypt, and what part of Egypt are you in?
Okay, cool. So it's actually a funny story because I met someone through the gym. I got introduced to a friend of mine that just randomly started to talk to this guy who was from Egypt. And he himself is actually a business owner in Egypt. He's got his own gym. But his story is that he migrated from Egypt to the UK because he got married. He married someone from the UK, and then they ended up coming back together to the UK. They had a child. And I met him that way. I met him inside the gym, and we got talking. And it wasn't straight away that we were talking about Egypt. We were just talking about training. And slowly, as the relationship developed, because I knew him for about 5 years. And in that period of time, we started to just talk about doing things together, like just planning what it is that we wanted to do in terms of, it could be it wasn't business at that time. It was just to help him develop himself personally, whether it be doing courses. And I was just there available, assisting him, helping him with his English, with his courses. So I assisted him. And then through that journey of friendship, more and more things unfolded. They told me a bit about himself, his background. And we was like, you know what? Mahbub, one day me and you are going to do something big. I don't know what it is at the moment, but we're going to do something big. And then
Okay.
slowly the story just started to unfold. My family situation, the whole dynamic just changed from just really looking at what society, what was happening around us in society with our children, the schooling, and these impacted our decisions. And we just started to wonder, well, actually, is London, England, the place that we want to raise our children? So this was playing on our minds. And then you had the lockdown in that period.
Mhm. Yeah.
And then we experienced a whole game changer in terms of homeschooling, having the children full time at home when the schools were closed, when a lot of things were just shut down. And it had its ups and downs. We bonded more with the children, but the only thing is to just try to find activities for the children to do. And a lot of things were closed from clubs and stuff. And at that period, we only had the downstairs
Mm.
football pitch from where we used to live. So the kids would go down there, just kick a ball, and yeah, and it was very limited, but
Okay.
we made do with what we had available at the time. So the only two options that we had at the time was just to see the in-laws, family, and just play downstairs. And then we was like, well, actually, you know what would it be like if we went abroad? So I just started to talk more and more to my friend who was from Egypt,
Mhm.
just to inquire what is the weather like, what is people like, what are you about? Like, tell me a bit more about your business, you know.
Right.
And then one idea led to another, and then eventually we was in a fortunate situation where we was able to sell our place, our home, and then
Okay.
from that day, that we just decided, you know what, okay, let's go to Egypt. But it wasn't like we're gonna sell up and then let's just go. It was okay. So you have 5 years. Within the
Yes.
last, say for example, 4 years had lapsed. Then we was on the final year of the 5 years. Within that period, we was going back and forth, deciding, and then having cold feet, and then not doing it, then going ahead, then not doing it, and just trying to change plans. And the plans just kept on changing. It kept on evolving and evolving.
Right.
And then eventually that we was like, okay, the best idea is this. Well, what is it that I want out of this journey? What is it that my wife wants out of the journey? What is it me and my wife want for the children? And we was like,
Right.
well, a better way of life. I want to work for myself, and
Mhm.
um, just as I'm working for myself, I want to try to integrate my family around my work life. Whilst in England, I was away for many hours away from my family, and then by the time I got home, I only had a few hours with them, and there's only so much that I can do. But I want to be heavily involved in their life, in their personal development. So that's why, on my part, that I took it upon myself to think, okay, you know what, I want to integrate my work and also my children into my work life, and just develop them. So if I have my own business, for example, the children can say, okay, this is how daddy works, this is how you run a business,
Mhm.
and that way they can take part in terms of building confidence, and so many other character development, personal development type of things that they can get from being in that kind of environment. So yeah,
Right.
that's how it unfolded. But it was all good on my side, but on my wife's side, it was just a load of emotions because she's leaving her nest, she's leaving her friends, her
Right.
family, her
Yes.
comfort, her way of life. It's. I think I'm not trying to be sexist here, but I think it's a bit more different for men than it is for women because they're taking their nest, whilst for a man it's just I believe, So it's
Right.
um,
Well, you're right
very
about
bittersweet.
that, though, Mabu,
Huh?
because you're right about that. Because even with me
Yeah,
leaving, there's not a day that goes by that I don't miss my daughter and my grandkids. And so we're on the phone all the time, and it's and then even though you can see people virtually, it's just not the same as being able to touch them and and
absolutely. Yeah,
have that
100%.
family unit. So I'm happy that you guys did come as a unit. So that has to make the transition a lot better. You know what I mean? But where are you guys? Are you in
Absolutely.
Cairo?
Absolutely. Matril, can I just touch on something that you just said? I mean, in terms
Sure.
of when the reality compared to the reality of seeing someone, touching them and holding them is so different in terms of virtual reality. I totally get what you're saying, because how I can relate to that is when I was at work, I had to attend a meeting, but it was via Zoom, and
Right.
I was talking to my seniors and just trying to discuss business. But then when I actually saw them face to face, because of the lockdown changed everything. Now I was communicating through via camera to and people, but not seeing them physically face to face. But when I eventually did see them face to face, it was such a weird feeling. It was like, oh my gosh, you're actually real. You're I've actually
Right.
come out from a different zone to the other side. Now I'm seeing you face to face, and the energy, the connection is just more meaningful. It's more deeper than if you were to communicate via like what we're actually doing.
Like this.
So yeah,
Right.
totally get what you were saying. Sorry, I sort of sidetracked there, but
That's
just
okay.
trying to
No, I was just asking, where are you though? Where are you in Egypt?
Oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Yes. So we are based right now in Sharm el Sheikh. We're based in some place called Muntaza, and it's literally slap bang in the middle of the like shopping center. Well, it's not shopping centers; it's like markets and stuff like that. So yeah, we're more towards the quiet side of Sham. Yeah, not the busy hustle and bustle next to locals. We're sort of a bit of distance away from them, but we're in the middle, and on my right side, left side, right side, I can access the markets quite easily. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So Sharm el Sheikh, I have not been there yet, but it is on my list of places to go. When I do
Okay.
finally, when I cross the Red Sea, I want to go there, and I want to go to Dahab and to St. Catherine's. Are you familiar with those places?
Sorry, Mature, I lost you there for a second.
Okay,
I
I said
the last bit.
I want to go to Dahab and
Okay.
Mount Sinai, St. Catherine's. So those are on my list within the next couple of months, actually.
Oh,
to go
wonderful.
there.
Okay, that sounds good. Do you know what it was? We was thinking from actually seeing Cairo, because we were always curious about. Well, Cairo is a different. I'm guessing it's just a different environment compared to Sham. There's like a quote that I say about Sham. Sham is calm because when you arrive here, it's relaxed. It's so laid back here.
Ooh,
I'm
nice.
assuming compared to Cairo, where you got the hustle and bustle, and so many people have told me this. When they land in Sham, the pace of life is a lot more slower. It's more mellow. It's more relaxed.
It's a
Yeah.
resort.
So
It's a resort town, right? There's a lot of
yeah.
resort compounds there.
Do you know what it is? You're absolutely right. It is a resort town, but also at the same time, you do have the locals. If you go down downtown to the market area, that you have food places where the locals go to. You'll have there's a place called Soho Square. So Soho Square is the equivalent of UK Central London, Piccadilly Circus. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with these areas, but in London, this is where tourists go, and it's literally really plush. It's very, very nice. And Egypt has this in Sharm el Sheikh called Soho Square. This is where a lot of people from all over the world come to visit, and it's a very, very nice place. It's just where you can chill out, relax. It's got loads of restaurants there where people just wine and dine. It's very, very nice, really nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Sharm el Sheikh is one of the places that's actually on the list where Americans are allowed to travel,
Yes,
because
that's right. Yeah,
we're
yeah.
not supposed. I'm not even supposed to be in Luxor, I don't think.
Okay.
According to the I forgot the name of the darn website because I've been gone for so long. But before you travel, you're supposed to check this website, and on that site they have Sharm el Sheikh and they have Cairo and Hurghada. Those are the three places that they say that they recommend that we travel to. They don't talk about any of the other places in Egypt, which is
Okay.
why I've made it my mission to try to show the rest of Egypt. But yeah, I
Beautiful.
can't wait to come on that side,
Beautiful.
because I understand it's just really beautiful there, and like you said, it's just really laid back. So I'm excited to be able to bring that to the people that watch this channel. But let me say hello to folks really quickly.
Yeah, sure, sure, absolutely.
All right. So I'm going back up. Okay. So, hey, happy companion. Welcome. Thank you for coming through. Hey, No Limit Eddie. He's in Egypt as well.
Okay.
Welcome to
Hello,
the
Eddie. How are you?
chat. Hey, MJ Harvey. That's my sister. Hey, Marlo.
Hi. How you doing?
TT,
You all
my
right?
Chaz, welcome to the chat. And thank you for my super chat, you guys. I got a super chat. I appreciate that. Oh, the Department of State website. Thank you, Princess. I need it. I couldn't remember, girl, because they it's been so long since I've been to those websites. But yeah, but thank you all for coming in. If anyone else is there and just say hi. Let us know that you're watching the live. We would really appreciate it. So, my guest name is Mahbub, right?
Got it. Got it. Got
Choudhury.
it.
And like he said at the beginning of the live, was born and raised in the UK, and he and his family have now moved to Egypt, and they're living in SHARM, which is across the Red Sea from where I am. So they're actually on the Sinai Peninsula, which is exciting within itself. So I can't wait to come over there and check that place out. See you guys, say hey. But anyway, so tell me about life in Sharm. You said it's laid back, it's really easy going. How are the kids finding it? Are there plenty of things for them to do? How are they liking the schools there?
You know, Matrell, those are really, really good, interesting questions because we've only been here for, how long have we been here for? About two? We've been here nearly 2 months, and
Okay.
we have been seeing the schools. We've checked out a few places in terms of schooling for the children, the activities, what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
We've not settled in properly per se at the moment,
Okay.
because right now we're renting a place
Mm-hmm.
in Sham for the time being until that we find a place where we can buy, and then once
Okay.
we've bought a place, we're also going through a business transition of trying to sort out a premises to set up base, a gym business in Sham as well.
Sure.
So once that's established, then we've got a sort of a routine going on, and then we can put the kids in schools, and then
Right.
just start developing a program around that at the moment. But right now, what we're doing is I've enrolled one of my kids in a football club. So he's doing really, really great. We've taken him out of there this month because of Ramadan, the fasting period. But
Right.
we want to pursue his footballing after that period. And the other kids, they're just at home, really enjoying the weather, and also they're just playing, going for a swim,
Mm-hmm.
exercising with me, these sort of things at the moment. And then on the flip side of things, there is okay, so Sham is calm, but also at the same time, it's a bit of a how shall I say it? It's a, well, we're actually taken aback by the heat out here. Today it was roasting. Wow. I mean, as I'm talking to you, I'm actually roasting. So I've got like ice cold water here. I'm drinking and I'm sipping just to stay hydrated. And that is a test in itself. Matrell, let me tell you, and people tuning in, it's all good and well you migrating, but there's so many things that we was taken off guard about in terms of things like mosquito bites, things like the heat wave is just immense, and this is not even the summer. I mean, I've heard that it could reach up to from about 40 degrees all the way up to 50 at its highest. So
Yeah.
this is a new territory for me. It's been very, very testing on my wife because she's had meltdowns in terms of like the whole day since yesterday. She's just lying on the bed. She's like, oh, I can't take it anymore. You know, and
I remember
the,
those days.
the thing is, what I would throw out there to people if you are interested in migrating is take on board a couple of things. The climate
Yeah.
impacts your overall well-being. Also, medication, having the right medication, side
Mm-hmm.
effects such as, for instance, if you're going for a heat wave, you can end up having all sorts of rashes, skin conditions, and then on top of
Yeah.
that, you're getting bit by bugs, and sleepless nights because it's so hot. It's really humid inside the house. How do you
Wow.
stay cool inside the home? That's one. The second thing is how do you stay cool yourself? That's the second one.
Right.
And it's so ironic because we've got a pool next to where we live. Literally, it's just outside in front of us. But if you swim a lot, it also plays havoc on the skin. If you shower a lot, it also plays havoc on the skin. There's so many variables to bear in mind that we were unaware of, because there's only so much that you can think of before you actually take the plunge and go aboard. But then, you know that saying, it's green on the other side. The grass is green on the other side. Yeah, so yes and no,
There's no grass
to the other side, and then you've got a lane of the seeds to make the grass a lot more greener. So it's putting in the work. So now we're actually trying to navigate. Okay, so how do we deal with the heat wave? How do we deal with the bugs? And we're trying so many different methods, so many different things. The aircon is another thing. So if you have the aircon all day, it will kill up your wallet. It will just literally take monies away from you. That thing is an eating money machine thing. Right. So it's about looking for alternatives in terms of to cool down, cool yourself down in terms of cooling your the place that you live, because you will have sleepless nights. You will have uncomfortable sleeps. And the heat in itself, it's so ironic because it's so beautiful on the outside, but it could also be irritating because of the heat as well. It's too much heat is very intense. And now I'm thinking, okay, the summer's approaching. How am I going to tackle the summer now? Especially.
Well, let me give you some hints. Let me help you out.
Yes, please do. Please do. Yes, okay. That would be great.
Fantastic. All right. So like you, when I first got here, I didn't understand the heat. I mean, it was like you said, crazy. And then I'm in Luxor, so I'm like right here on the Nile, and there are a lot of mosquitoes here. But for me, I use those Raid plugins. I have the plugins in every room of the house. Wow. I don't have any mosquitoes in my house, and you can get those on Amazon Egypt. But they're more expensive on Amazon Egypt, but you can get them like at the local pharmacy. They have them in the pharmacy. I keep those, and I have an extra box that I just keep because I don't want to run out. Because I tell you what, when they get low, a mosquito might sneak in, and I'm not running. I'm not running for the mosquitoes. And this is Africa, so mosquitoes are real here in Africa. It just is. And then in terms of the heat, I have become more nocturnal. I'll sleep during the day when it's hot.
Okay.
And then I'm up in the evening when it's cooler. And even here, it's like nobody opens their shops until like late. And then everybody's up all evening, and then you kind of just do nothing during the day. And the heat can be unbearable. And what I try to tell my people on our tours, like we do things earlier in the day, and then you take a little break, and then you pick them back up in the evening during the summer months, because the summer months can be extremely hot.
Yeah.
And but it's nothing that you can really do to prepare for it outside of wear a lot of linen, keep yourself hydrated, eat light. I'm a vegetarian. To eat meat here, it's just too much. It's just too much on the system. So, I won't do that. But I think having all the vegetables and the water and things from the melons and things like that helps keep me hydrated. And like you said, when you first get here, you can have skin issues because it is so dry. And, things like the shea butters and things, natural butters and things like that can help keep the skin moisturized. But it's really moisturizing from the inside out. I walk around like this all the time.
Yeah.
I just have water on me because it's hot. But here it's not humid. It's not humid on this side where I am. But you're saying it's humid where you are in SHARM.
Yeah.
And you guys are on the salt water too, and the Nile is fresh water. So I don't know if that makes a difference because you guys are exposed to the salted air. I'm within fresh air, but it's hot. Yeah, we went from jackets 2 weeks ago to hell in a week. Just changed. It was 100. It was 110. No, 109 today. That's Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius, you guys, but yeah, it's hot.
It's really hot.
But you do get used to it. So I'm really used to it now. So I have not even turned my AC on yet. I have a little fan on that's circulating a little bit of air, but I think my bricks in my building haven't heated up yet because it's only been a week of hot.
Yeah, that's what we got at the moment because we got these fans. I find the fans work a lot more better than the AC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you get used to it. 90 degrees is going to be your safe, your happy place. When it's 90 in your house, you're going to be like, woo, that's cool. But not when you're from the UK. You'll get used to it, though. It just takes time. It takes time. Yes, and Marlo, she's saying that she came to visit Egypt last year. She was here. It is definitely hot, and she did drink a whole lot of water while she was here. But that's just, I don't know. I think people here assume that because it's in the desert, everybody should know that it's hot. Yeah. But you don't know desert heat until you've been in the desert.
That's it. That's it. Definitely.
And Egypt is definitely in the desert. So tell me this. Okay, so you've only been in SHARM for a couple of months. So have you found yourself like a favorite place to eat yet? Or do you guys just prepare your own meals? How's that working for you?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so in terms of eating out, we have found a couple of local spots. And one is a place where a lot of the locals go. So this is how SHARM works. SHARM works like this. So you've got one designated area where it's just food central. It's where the locals go to eat, and it's just dominated by food shops. And then you've got another place in SHARM where it's for the tourists, where they got their souvenir shops and that sort of thing. And then you've got another place in SHARM where it's for the tourists. It's just hip. It's happening. It's Soho Square, the one I was talking to you about earlier on. Yeah. You got those areas. So you got certain spots for certain specific things, and the places that where we go to eat is a place called Abu. Is it Abu Ali? Abu Ali, yeah. Abu Ali. They do some nice meals there. And what it is it's actually just a preference. I'm a meat eater. Myself, so that's usually my spot with the family as well. But it's strange as well because you start eating meat and then you're like, at some point, just get fed up. You're like, okay, let's try something let's try something new. Maybe because the thing I've noticed about myself is as the climate is changing, my body's wanting different things now. It's not craving meat anymore. It's craving juices, fruits to just keep cool. They're so strange. My wife introduced me to these oval shaped oranges, and once you bite into them, they're so filling. Like I feel full. It's so strange. It's like, well, okay, wow. From this fruit as well. You're like,
I think Egypt has the best oranges in the world. I've never had oranges this good, and they're consistently good. I've never had.
It's amazing. It is amazing. I mean, like whatever they're packing inside that orange is just. You know what I mean? It's just really nice. It's lovely, and the fruits that they got. So now, in terms of from eating out. Now I'm eating I'm finding myself. I'm eating a lot of fruits now, like the guavas. They're so lovely. Once just biting into that guava, it's just soft and it's just got so much lovely texture in that guava. It's just so nice, and that just does me. And I'm like really blessed. I got my water, my fruits. But I'm sure as the temperatures start dropping, then I'm gonna start craving for like the meats again, the heavy meals. Kind of things, but just a quick side note, you're so right. I mean, me personally, I'm adapted to the climate, the heat quite quickly, but my wife and my children, it's because they have very sensitive skin and everyone's skin reacts differently. Some can bear it, some can't, and it's children are really young. The youngest ranges from 4 all the way up to 11. He's gonna be 11 this year, so they just have sensitive skin, really sensitive skin. When they're out for too long, it actually irritates their skin. But so in terms of eating out, what local spot, Abu Ali. But you notice that through this journey, your taste buds change, your appetite changes because of the heat, and it's so strange. It's one of them things. And I don't actually. go out my way intentionally on purpose. Right, today I'm gonna eat this meat, or I'm gonna eat this. It's okay. My body just feels like actually it doesn't want anything to eat. It just wants to drink. They just wants a piece of fruit. You know, I'm just listening to what my body naturally wants.
Right.
That's how I'm responding, really.
Okay. Well, let me do a little housekeeping here again. I see some more people came in. Hello, blind guy, his wife and their life. Welcome to the live. Um, let's see. Oh, hey Mahmood, welcome to the live. Good to see you. So you guys that just are coming in, my guest today is Mahbub Choudhury. He's from the UK, born and raised. He and his family have relocated here to Egypt. They're living in Sharm el-Sheikh, which is on the other side of the Red Sea. It's in the Sinai Peninsula. Um, let's see, he has a fitness business, right, with aspirations to open up a gym there in Sharm, which I think is going to be a great business there because people there are definitely into fitness. It's a whole beach scene. So I imagine that you should do well there. And then it's a lot of foreigners there.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
Well, tell me this: do you have to know Arabic there? Do you speak Arabic?
You know, in terms of speaking Arabic, no, I'm actually learning the Arabic, but the Arabic I'm actually learning is so different. It's a different dialogue to what the Egyptians actually speak. It's more slang. It's more so when I'm speaking Arabic in the clean sense of Arabic, I just stand out like, okay, they understand what I'm saying, but when they respond back to me, I'm very confused. I'm like, because I've not learned it that way. Like so I'm like, okay, all right. But yeah, but it's a journey. I'm just evolving. I'm just trying to pick up what they're saying, what this word means, what that word means, and but I've took it upon myself. That is one of the obligatory, mandatory things that I must do. Because it makes sense. If I'm in a place where they speak a lot of Arabic, it makes sense. If I'm going to be in amongst this hustle and bustle and then trying to survive out here, I have to take on these life skills of trying to learn the language. Yeah.
Well, I think you made a good point too. I think a lot of people don't know that, Arabic has so many different dialects. And depending on what part of Egypt you're in, they're going to speak a different type of Arabic. So I've enrolled in an Egyptian Arabic class, right? It's an online class because my Arabic is terrible, but I'm getting better at it in terms of speaking words that relate to things that I do. So I'm a chef and I love to cook. So first thing for me was, learning the Egyptian name for all the fruits and vegetables, things like that. So I can say those things all the time. And then, so when I hear people mentioning them, or when the trucks go by, they're yelling out the fruit names and vegetable names, I know that that's the food truck. And I can run out there and get something. When before, all I heard was, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I didn't know what they were saying, but now I do. And I need to do a better job at it, because I think even to get citizenship here, just like in any country, you have to know the language.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. 100%.
And you can't come here just speaking straight Google Arabic, because the people here don't understand Google Arabic. They Egyptian Arabic is different, because when I was in Cairo, I had to Google Translate, and I would say what I had to say and put it up, and they would just look at me like, "What? What are you saying?" So they still didn't know what I was saying.
On that point, what you just said there as well is what I'd like to draw attention to the viewers as well is to learn some fundamentals when those of you are deciding to migrate abroad. There's a few things that are a must that you must learn. So one of them is to figure out how the transportation works.
Yeah.
And also to know how the finance works. So finance in terms of just the day-to-day trading, how much this costs, how much that costs, and knowing your conversions from what the currencies that you're usually used to their conversions, because they have so many zeros in their numbers. It's like I'll give you an example. £10 in the UK is known as £200 in Egyptian. Right. So you could be handing out so much money to them without realizing how much they're actually spending, and all of a sudden you're like, where did my money go? So it actually pays dividends if you know understand their currencies, understand just the price rates, and also just how the transportation works and what is the local rates that you should be paying, because
Yeah.
the thing is, what I like about this country is what I do say is the transportation system. I'll give you an example. It's so funny. It's hilarious. I mean, where we live and we're situated at, there's usually it's like a 5 minute walk up the road and you wait for a bus. Now, now in the UK, the transportation works like this: you're either on time or you miss the bus. That's it. They're not going to wait for you. That's it. They're gone, and you just have to wait around for the next one. Now, these guys here, there's a thing called a microbus. And
Right.
this microbus is hilarious. It's you could be so far away from the bus, and rather than the bus, if the bus going fast and it just happens to see you, it's reversing, and it will reverse and it will wait until you actually get on the bus. And that's what I love about this place. Is like, oh, okay, you know what? In the UK, you don't get things like that, but
Right.
here they'll wait for you. They'll even reverse back from far away, and then they'll just be there stopping for you. And then,
But the people are great though. So well, in my experience here, the people have been great and helpful as much as they, as much as they can be. And yeah,
yeah,
like you said, and all these guys, they're working. This is tourism is their business here. So
yeah,
they're not gonna miss an opportunity to service a client. So if that means picking you up at the bus station,
yeah.
offering you a ride on a boat, whatever the case may be, they're not going to miss the opportunity. And sometimes
Absolutely.
people take that. It's really, especially in Cairo, like when you go to the pyramids, things like that. They're selling camel rides, and
Mm.
it can seem aggressive, but it's really not. It's just if you don't understand Arabic, that when they're translating into English, the diction is different. So, they say things harder. They roll their
Yeah,
R's. They say things harder than what we say. So it could come off as if it was something negative, but it really isn't. They're just trying to sell you a service. And
yeah,
sometimes I'll see people get angry about it, and I'm like, but that's just their job. Learn how to say
mm.
no in Egyptian. Just learn how,
That's right.
learn how to let them know that you're not interested in their language, and then they won't ask you again. you
Yeah,
know.
that's right.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, but the people here on this side I know are great, and it sounds like the people over on the peninsula are great as well.
Yeah. I mean, can I be honest? I mean, where I've come from from the UK to here, there's a
Hmm.
big difference in terms of what I feel with the people there. Okay, what I love about this place is this. Um, Everyone's out for hustle, which is understandable. They got to make their bread. They got to, and but the beautiful thing about this is it's transparent. You know they're out to make a hustle.
Right,
So
right.
there's no scam. There's just clear cut. Okay, I know what you're doing. I know how much you're charging. This is not the
Hmm.
usual rate, but I know that you're charging me tourist rates. Whilst in the UK, they are so sophisticated in scamming, it's ridiculous. You can't.
Oh wow.
It's so hard to tell from a scam to something that is really legit. But here, they're more opening. They're more embracive towards you, and you actually feel that. You actually feel their energy. Two things: you feel the energy. You also know what they're about, so they're pretty much transparent,
Yeah.
which actually just helps with getting along with them. People, they're more than happy to help you, to assist you.
Mhm.
It's, and I like that. I like that. They're very social.
Right.
Sociable.
They
Yeah,
are. And
that's
then once
that's
you
what I found.
once you make, once you start making more friends there, because I know you have a friend that brought you there
Yeah,
or guided you that way.
yeah,
When you find somebody that's really on your side, that's going to be there for you, then
yeah,
they'll be able to help you through all the other processes that you're going to have to go through later, once you're trying to negotiate, that house deal or
yeah.
get that business going, even getting your resident visa.
Yes, yes,
Having
absolutely.
someone local that can speak the
Yeah,
language that you can trust is
absolutely,
just
100%.
something that you really have to establish, right away. We can't move to foreign countries and be introverted. You have to get
Definitely,
out,
definitely.
meet
Yeah,
people, and build yourself a little network so that you can survive. Because otherwise, it could be
absolutely.
difficult.
Matrell, you've actually hit so many points that I was going to actually bring to the viewers' attention. Actually,
Okay.
that was actually my next point that I want to talk about is when you are venturing out by yourself, the support system makes a huge difference, because that little guidance can take you so far in your next step to your journey. Because having that friend has also allowed me to watch out for certain things, to be careful, to cautious, to be more cautious about this, don't go here, do this, say that. And there's a bar, and having that support mechanism, he has also introduced me to other friends which are here that are where he feels that he can trust them to look after me. So it's you're right. It's a big strategy when you're going abroad and you're making this big step. Safety is a must, and it's really important that you just do your due diligence. You have a network, a support of friends around you that you can that can back you, just in case if you fall like into some technical issues. They're there for you. You know, the support system is the difference between you having a good experience and a really bad experience. You know, you holding out, then you just giving up. That support system is a must. Totally agree there, 100%.
Yes. Well, are you okay? So outside of the friend that you made coming, have you guys started meeting new people? How about your wife? Has she? Because I know she's in the Facebook group, because that's where I met her.
Absolutely. I mean, it's so strange. It's I feel famous when I'm walking down the street. It's because they, you know, when you go to a certain place and you're just doing your thing, you're shopping and stuff like that. They know your face, and they say, "Hey, come this way. Come to my shop." And you know, I've seen you before, and it's strange how word gets around. Oh, this is the new guy. Or once they see a regular face, they come towards you. They embrace you, and it's so strange because you feel as if they know more about you than you know about them, because they're watching your every move, not in a mean way, but in who is that person? Oh, okay, let me get to know him. Let me and it's really nice because they're inquiring about you. If they can help, they help. If they don't, you know. I mean, the great thing about this is no one can force you into a sale. It's entirely up to you. If you want to take it, take it. If you don't, no. You know, but it's transparent. The hustle is there. You can take it or you can leave it. That's it. You know, but you're absolutely right. The only way to do that is you also have to. There has to be a certain part of your personality where you're able to stand your ground up against these people. Not to say that they're mean, but you do need to be outgoing, because if you are going to go on this type of adventure, you can't be shy and quiet. It's like that you're forced to network. You have to force yourself to speak to these people. So yeah, it's and it builds confidence. It's so strange. One way that you might have doubts if it's going to work, or you know, but you're also building confidence as you're growing wiser. You're getting that experience, the insights, and what I've realized about people is before I made this decision to for migration, I had a lot of naysayers. Mahbub, don't do this. It's too risky. X, Y, Z. We had all sorts of whispers from friends, family, towards me, towards my wife, and having these doubts don't actually help in terms of when you're trying to make this move across. But one of my friends was like, "No, you know what? They don't know because they've not been on the other side. They don't have the experience, and." The person is only going to talk to you according to the way they see the world. They're going to give you their interpretations, but their interpretations don't mean this is the be all and end all. It doesn't. Just because you've not found a path, it doesn't mean to say that you won't find a path. You know, but it's amazing how when you meet people from the other side, they can actually take you to the next step. It's just amazing. But if you were on the other side and you stayed back, you would have never known what you know now in terms of, because you've taken that step. And you're able to take step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because you've met new types of caliber of people who think differently, who can get you from A to B. So it's when I migrated, it initially started off with business. It initially started off with we've got a vision and a mission, but you're also migrating because you're leaving your old self behind. You're migrating into a new identity, which is amazing. You know, you're migrating to a different way of life. So on the outset, it might be, something nice, exciting, different environment, different weather, different people. But it's actually a whole identity change that you're migrating from the old you to the new you. You know,
it's right.
this is it's migration on different levels. It's not just the physical, passport, visa kind of thing. It's spiritual, it's emotional, it's physical, it's mental. You name it's on all levels. It's it's a total migration. And as the journey is unfolding, the vision, the realization, the mission is just getting bigger and bigger, because we're realizing new things about ourselves, about people around us, possibilities, so many things. It's so unsettling in some sense, but it's amazing, because it encourages you to figure out things, to navigate. You're always going to find set problems, but the whole idea is just to try to navigate it. How do you work this out? How do you overcome these obstacles? This is what the journey is about, because when you have decided to make that migration, you're going to be faced with so many things that you didn't even think of, so many things that will take you off guard. What do you do? Do you get scared and think, oh my gosh, I can't take it, I'm going to go back? Do you go back into your comfort zone, or do you think, hang on a second, I'm going to try and navigate this, I'm going to try and work this out, I'm going to try and find a way? There's always an answer. I just have to make to do it. So it's that kind of thing. It's wonderful, because it's a personal development. It's your own journey. It's amazing. Sorry, I'm just going on and on. Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. No, I love it. I love to hear the passion in your voice, because I'm telling you, it's really kind of hard to. A lot of people ask that question, like, oh, because America, despite some of the issues that it has in some of the places, because some people have had bad experiences there. I don't come from that. I don't come from a bad experience in America. I had a great life, but I made the decision to move anyway. And so the people who have that same great life like me are looking at me like, why would you want to give this up? Because they're seeing dirt roads and they see what in their mind is poverty. And I keep telling them, I'm like, you guys, these people own these houses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if you see animals if somebody's walking down the street and they got a whole herd of cattle, that's cash. That's money. Yeah. No poor person is walking around with 20, 30 lambs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but our perception of, poverty is anything that's not completely sanitized, like it is. Everything there is so esoteric. It's just so neat. It's clean. It's organized. It's order. To come somewhere and have freedom for the first time, because I feel like I have freedom for the first time, because I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? And no one can make me. And that's, for me, it's like a really great feeling. But Mahbub, let me say this. Let me say hi to a couple of people first real quick that came in. Hey, Mr. Uganda, welcome to the chat. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate you being here. Hi, Richard. Welcome to the live. Appreciate you joining in. And look at you, Marlo. She is participating fully in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, so again, for everyone that is just coming in, our guest today is Mahbub Choudhury. He is born and raised in the UK. He and his family have relocated to SHARM Sheikh. He has a wife and they have 5 children, which I think is beautiful, right? Little ones up to almost teenagers. And he's embarking on a new business here in, trying to establish a gym. He is are you a personal trainer or a fitness coach? Is what you said?
Well, so my role that I left when I was in the UK was a gym manager, but that also does involve coaching, personal training, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Okay. So he can definitely help with fitness. So I want to make sure that, we get all his contact information, because I'm sure you're looking for clients there, right?
Yeah. At the moment, I'll tell you what, so my main focus right at the moment is to just get the premises up and running, and just understand the dynamics of people. But what we have seen in this place in Sharm el-Sheikh, there's not that many gyms that offer the services that we will offer. It's just your average standard gym, and that's it. And I've noticed that there's a market, there's an opening for us to facilitate that a service is in such a need. So I'll give you an example: the service of different types of classes for females, for males, Yeah, there's a huge need
Wait,
for that.
it's going to be a unisex gym.
Huh?
You're going to do it's going to be a unisex gym. Males and females can go to the same gym.
Yeah. And also there'll be a time slot for females only, and
Okay.
then just mixture in that. Yeah, because
Okay,
the
that'll
kind
be awesome. I think.
because the people that we're working with is it's gonna be locals. It's gonna be just a mixture of foreigners just coming in. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's open to all, you know. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So are you doing your business? So is it a solo business, or are you partnering with the Egyptian to do your business?
Sorry, could you repeat that again?
Are you partnering or teaming up with an Egyptian to do your business,
Okay,
or is it your own business?
yeah. So what's happened is I'm actually partnering with someone, with my friend who's got his
Mm-hmm.
gym established in Cairo, but
Okay.
he's helping me to set up a gym, my own gym. But he's
Nice.
gonna be partnering with me to help me to just show me the steps, show me
Right.
like he's going to put the infrastructure in, and he's going to just tell me and put these people in, key people in place. It's like a team that you build up your
Yes.
infrastructure with a team, a support system and mechanism, so I can actually run more efficiently. I
Right.
definitely need someone who's an Arabic speaker, because I'll be dealing with Arabs. I'll be dealing with just people from different nationalities as well.
Right.
So it helps having that team. If I were to do it myself, I would think, okay, I need to learn the language. I'm going to struggle with just knowing the demographics of people,
Right.
or if any problems or situations arise, I need my right hand guy, to just help me assist with these kind
Right.
of issues until I develop the confidence to know my people, to and just to know the demographic. Um, and it actually goes back to the point that what we was talking about earlier on, in terms of when you're actually going to migrate, it helps to have a team behind you. Like what
Yes.
team? There could be a friend. It could just be a few people. It's entirely up to you. But people who you can trust, who want
Yeah.
the best for you, who believe in a bigger cause, whose minds are open as well. Not really. They won't put their fears on you. They'll
Right.
encourage you to do this. They'll have your back. These are the sort of people that they want around you to make this migration as smooth as possible.
Exactly. And see, and that's how I feel exactly. And I think for me, I've been so fortunate when I came here, because I was actually I had kind of I knew somebody before I got here, because I was introduced to them by another YouTuber who was here, and
Okay.
it was just an instant friendship, and the guidance that I've gotten, the support that you get, I have this dream, like, okay, well, I want to start this business and I want to do this, that, and the other, you know, this, they're there for me, and they're like, okay, well, this is how you can get this done, and helping make all the connections and do all the things that needed to be done to make these dreams of mine come true. So yeah, you absolutely, have to come here with a network. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do with my business, because I know that, as a tour company, and sure, I want people to take tours. What's more important to me is to be a resource for them, because you want to come here, and I'm not selling information. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I've already done all of this. I've gone through all these things. So if you need to know something, you can ask me and I'm going to tell you, because that's just how I am. And I would want somebody to help me that way. But I'm trying to be a resource for people, especially the ones coming from the States,
Yeah.
because that language barrier is real. The customs are so different.
Yeah.
And it is, I hate to use the term culture shock, but coming to Africa, period, is a culture shock when you're leaving such structure, coming
Yeah.
to a place where you actually get to have your own free will. It is freedom. And that's like, you kind of like get dropped off you get dropped off there in the middle, and you can, sink or swim. And I'm just
Michelle,
trying to
can I
provide
just
life
hold you to
rafts
that
for people.
point? What you just said there, it's so true in terms of the culture shock, the way that they do things. It's you hit the nail on the head, because when we first came here, the system in terms of simple things like electricity, water supply,
Right.
phone, how the phone system works, the
Right.
mobile phone works, the SIM works, all of these things. It was a bit of a shock, because back in the UK, it's so simple, it's straightforward. It's that you you want a SIM, you pay for it, finished. But there's a number of processes that you have to go through when you get here as well, and that's another thing as well. It's, guys, if you ever do choose to migrate, make sure that you understand the mobile phone systems, how tariff works, how, like, I'll give you an example. They don't have unlimited calls here, but in the UK that they do, but they call it unlimited. So when they say unlimited here, they mean, what they're referring to is large data on your SIM tariff. So it could be 20 gig, 50 gig, 80 gig, whatever it is. And it's trying to understand how the tariff works, because they have different names. They have things like this thing called a recharge. They have just different packages, and it's very unfamiliar. There was one time I was actually in a phone shop, and I was just watching a transaction, between the sales assistant and this foreigner, trying to, all he wanted is a SIM, and he was just confused. He was like, okay, what do these packages mean? And the guy was speaking in such a way where, look, it's obvious, it's minutes.
He was kind of,
it's. And I just felt sorry for the guy, because I thought, oh my gosh, like, so this guy needs to actually be sat down and explained and be talked to in such a way where, you know what, this is new. Just explain it from scratch, rather than assuming, okay, that this is obvious, this is how we do it, and it's just understanding things like that, understanding how to make payments for electricity, for gas, understanding how the network works in a different country, because that's also a part of, like what you said, it's a cultural shock. It's a new way of doing things. It's a new system, and also,
even data. Like, I'm sorry, the data, for instance, I think people don't understand, especially coming from the West, in the US, your internet is unlimited. So you pay whatever you pay per month, and you can have unlimited access to the internet. But here, it's not like that.
No,
you pay to play, pretty much. So, I buy my internet. I think I get like 100 gigs. I get a lot at once. But because I'm a YouTuber and I'm loading videos 3 times a week, I'm buying a lot more internet now than than I really want to, but I do. But what it does is it stops me from being able to binge watch YouTube like I used to when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So I have to be selective. So all of you who get likes and comments know that I love you, because I'm on your channels watching, because I only can watch so many because I don't want to blow my budget. You know what I'm saying? Because internet, it can be pricey if you're on YouTube. If you're like me, if you're uploading videos and stuff all the time. And that iPhone, y'all, I'm gonna tell you what, make sure you turn off your cloud when you get here, because you will lose all your data backing up all the pictures and stuff that you take. You might want to bring you an extra SD card. You need to bring something that you can transfer those pictures to, because data is just not cheap. It's not cheap when you do it that way.
And it goes quickly as well.
It does. It goes real fast. I had to fill up 3 times this month, because I've done so much. So that's unfortunate, but it's okay. It's worth it. I got to get it out there.
Like, in terms of the data side of things, what I've also noticed is it helps also to just carry some documents around with you. Like, for example, things like your passport, if you've got a rent contract of some sort, because if you're trying to do set up a mobile contract, they'll ask for these sort of things. They'll ask for proof. So it's having those essential documents, and just further along the way in terms of the documentation. What I found out is how the visa system works, how residency works, how a visa extension works. What are these steps to do these sort of things, and it's never straightforward.
It's not, and it's different in the different regions. It's not the same. What you do in SHARM may not be what we do in Luxor, what they do in Cairo, and what they do in Hurghada. It could be different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depends on who you're
So
talking to.
yeah, it's exactly, and it's what I found out is when I was going through a visa extension, it's never straightforward. It's you got to go to this person, then get signature, then go to here, then go back and get some more photocopies, and it can be frustrating. I tell you what, it's to live life on your own terms. You do have to
Yes,
put in the work initially until you've
you do.
understood the system.
You do.
But in the long run is absolutely worth it. The hardest thing is just to hang in there, to just figure out the system. Because guys, don't forget, you're coming from a place where you're surrounded by things that are at your disposal. Is very close, convenient. You got your nest, you got your friends, family,
Right.
familiar places. To all of a sudden come to a foreign land that you're not familiar with, but it will take time to develop. Like it's like everything else, things take time to flourish. Just got to put in the effort, and you will
Right.
get there. And all of a sudden, it will become a lot more smoother than when you first started off. It's just you're on this journey of evolving, and developing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I love it. It's something. It's a new adventure every day.
absolutely, absolutely,
And
definitely.
I wouldn't trade it for the world. And my new passion now is, I'm on a mission to see all the temples. I'm going to see all the temples,
Amazing,
all the
amazing.
temples, all the tombs. And I want to go in and I want to see them and I want to show everybody. And then I want to learn what it was about because it's just so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
different stories. And I
It's
do not
fascinating, isn't it? Fascinating,
it's
yeah.
very fascinating, and then I do not even dare. I tried to have a conversation with my mom. Because she's a diehard her religion, right?
Yeah,
And I was trying to have a conversation with her about things that I saw, and then she was talking about one specific Bible character, and I was like, well,
yeah,
I saw the Pharaoh there, but I didn't
yeah,
see on all the writings. You don't see this
yeah,
guy on
yeah,
anything. So I'm like, are we sure? So you can't question it. So I never go into the religious things with
yeah,
anybody because, and not, everything here is written in stone. And at some point you're thinking
yeah.
like, well, is it real? You know, or
You question
not?
it, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
you do a little bit, especially when I'm like the period that I'm in now with the temples that I'll be showing you guys soon. It was during the Greco-Roman period, but it was
okay,
still built by Egyptians, and there's a lot
yeah,
of everything traditional in the Egyptian religion, except they inserted this Greek king or this Roman king in as the pharaoh. And I don't
yeah,
even think a lot of people knew that happened. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
um, but the writings changed a little bit. Everything started becoming a little more salacious in nature because the
Yeah.
Egyptians were really straightforward kind of people, and then the Greeks, they got their twisted way of thinking and doing
Yeah.
things artistically. Okay, so
Mm,
it's different,
mm.
and I think a lot of people they don't see it because nobody's really showing the insides of these temples, and people don't know that there's a difference between the two. So it's fascinating to me to learn it, to see
Yeah.
where history stayed the same and when it changed. Because in the one temple that I'm going to be showing on Sunday, Ramses II, he actually
Mm.
left out three main pharaohs because he didn't think they were worthy.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's
Mm,
a history. It's a wall of pharaohs. It was all the pharaohs of Egyptian history up until his reign. So they're all
Michelle.
carved. All their cartouches are carved in stone. He left
Mm,
three of them out. He left off Akhenaten because he believed in one God. He knocked off King Tut because that was Akhenaten's son, and he knocked off Queen Hatshepsut because she's a woman. So they're not even shown in this hall, and nobody would know about them if their
wow.
remains weren't found somewhere. So so somebody that had that much power to change history, and we believe that part. It's kind of hard not to believe all the other parts of the stories where there's just so many parts missing. But I'm gonna leave that part alone. But anyway, it's just fascinating, and it's gonna take a lifetime to learn these things. I'm mad I came here this late in life. I wish I had come 30 years ago, because I would probably be done looking at everything by now.
Mm,
But I'm going to spend the rest of my time, exploring and learning about Egypt because I love it here that much, and trying to bring as many people here as I can and help them get exposed to the things that aren't typical, to go to some of these, like I said, it was 411 nobles' tombs. The nobles' tombs aren't even on anybody's tour list, but they're worth seeing, so I want to be able to expose people to those things, but
it's strange what you said. I mean, I'm more fascinated in terms of Egyptians building structure. So I'll give you an example. I mean, even the pyramids, the way that they are built, the architecture, how did they, many years back then, develop such an architecture, that caliber of the pyramids? How did they do that?
But you guys, that's the other thing I'm going to be showing you guys. Technology existed back then. I was in a temple where there was actually helicopters written in hieroglyphics. There's helicopters. You know what I'm saying? What we're doing is not new. It's like being redone. You see what I'm saying? And people won't know that until you start really digging into these histories. But yeah, I saw that. I even actually saw one of them. It was actually like signs of life outside the planet.
Wow.
In a hieroglyphic, right? And then in one of the temples here in Queens Valley, it's the only temple that has a picture of a jinn.
Okay.
No other temple has that except for that one. So I'm thinking like, wow, so that likeness was somewhere, and that was a temple that was built by Egyptians, during their day. So I'm like, so I kind of want to get more into the backstory of that. But yeah, but I just, what I'm realizing is, things are just kind of, repeating themselves. We don't know how big people were before they became smaller. You just don't know. But what I do know for sure about the pyramids is that the stone came from Aswan. And I know that the Nile was huge at that point. So I can see it floating up. But, and I understand why it took 30 years to build. It's massive.
It's amazing.
But the people, the fortitude of the people, and then just to know that the people that were doing the work, they weren't slaves. No one was slaves. This was their jobs. They had whole towns for workers. But people don't know that. Every time they see the pictures, they think, oh, they were slaves that built the pyramid. No, it wasn't. It was just workers.
Actually, I actually find that interesting because of what you just said. It's strange because in SHARM, they're doing what you've described now is exactly what they're doing now. So you have, I'll give you an example, from people coming from Cairo to SHARM, and they come for two things: either to work, to build. So they come from Cairo to SHARM to work, to build, or they are coming from Cairo to go for a holiday. But that system that you were talking about in terms of working, it's still the same. That system is exactly how it works in SHARM as well. It's nothing's changed. And the fascinating thing is, I've actually seen them building and constructed in the UK. Yeah, I'll give you an example. We have these things called scaffoldings. These are long metal poles and to develop their skyscrapers and buildings and stuff. But here, they're using wood, literally 2x4s, and just they're building from that. And I'm so fascinated. I'm thinking, wow, it's so simple. The way that the materials that they're doing, and I'm not too sure about the health and safety side of things. But in you have so much health and safety things here. Whilst here, it's what you're doing. You've been doing it for a while. Like building is just our thing. We've just built buildings since the dawn of time, so it's nothing new for us. But the materials look so primitive in terms of what I've seen, but it's so effective. It's strange. I find that fascinating. I'm like, wow.
But these structures have been standing forever, and even the houses that they build, with the five people and some wood, right? They build these houses. It is amazing.
Yeah.
And when you think about all this technology that we have in the West, it's just amazing that just more can't be done. But what really amazes me about the people here is they do things themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And no dependencies. That's the difference in the systems. They're free here. I don't even know how I can express that enough to people. Just being here in Africa, period, it's just different. It's a freedom that you won't know until you come.
You you've actually said something that just brought a bit of light into my to my attention, and that was when you are here, you're actually having to go out there and get. So I'll give you an example.
Right.
Okay, back in the UK, if there's something that you want, it's very, very easy, easily at your disposal. You can call someone, you can get delivery, you can get you can just pick it up yourself because it's so close. But
Right.
here, you have to manage your finances. There's restrictions. That's one, and that, in some sense, could be a good thing and a bad thing. A bad thing, it depends on the way that you're looking at it. And an amazing thing is teaching you how to organize, to prioritize, to manage, to budget. It's
Yeah.
teaching you these valuable life skills. And what was the other thing? I kind of lost track of what I was going to
You
say.
won't be wasteful. You won't be
You
wasteful.
you won't be wasteful, and yeah. So this is giving you the mindset to actually go out there and work yourself to get those things that you're after. Whilst back home in the UK, it's more you're laid back. Not much thinking is required. It doesn't actually challenge the mind, challenge the body. Whilst here, it really develops you to on all levels.
Yeah.
Of your thinking, in terms of your problem solving, your reacting, you're just trying to understand the demographics, the way of life, the complete way of life. I'm telling you, it's a completely different way of life,
Right.
and you just start from scratch. And it reminds me of my parents when they migrated from Bangladesh, that's where I'm originally from, to the UK, and now I'm migrating from the UK to Egypt. And,
Right.
and I mean, I've got nothing but props for them in terms of what they've done, the sacrifice, what they went through, the fears, the phobias that they had, how they overcame them,
Yeah.
and just to raise children. Now I'm actually experiencing, oh my gosh, this is maybe is what my parents went through when I'm
Right.
going through a particular test, a trial, and then I think, oh wow, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's an amazing journey. It's just, yeah. I mean, I'm just each and every day. I'm just evolving. I'm actually embracing all challenges that come my way. I just want a solution. I'm looking for, like, I'm not saying, okay, we've come to a problem. That's it. I'm gonna quit. No, my whole thinking, my perception has changed. It's just right. I come here. I'm evolving. I'm moving forward. I'm only going forward, not backwards.
Right.
And it's that concept. It goes back to that concept. When I was initially making this decision, me and my wife, that we had so many people from our background telling us, don't do it, don't do it. But this is something that other people don't see, which is your support network. You're not doing it alone. There's
Right.
people who have been there who will help and assist you,
Yeah.
aid you, support you, and yeah, it's just having that, just that little package there to help you move forward is amazing.
Yeah. I don't think my experience. I don't know if my experience would have been as smooth and easy as it has been had I not had a support system when I got here.
Yeah.
Because I think
Absolutely.
the language barrier is overwhelming. It's
Yeah.
in the US, there's so many people that speak Spanish. Spanish is written on buildings and stuff everywhere, so I can kind of figure out what that is because it's familiar to me. But to come see the markings in Arabic, it's just it's just foreign, and and to be here and be an immigrant for the first time, you know what I'm saying, it makes me have a lot more empathy for the immigration situation in the US now.
Absolutely.
I understand it, but I also know that I'm doing the right things. I'm not here trying to not get a visa. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to just come in and take advantage of their systems and things like that. But I do understand, people's desire to want to go somewhere new and start their lives. And I've completely changed how I used to think about that in the U.S. As a result of me being here in Africa, because I think your feelings could get hurt in some of these countries, because I originally was going to Ghana, and I mean, but even to go to these countries and just feel like, well, they don't really even want us here. That's a hard pill to swallow, because they're not, the people in certain places weren't as friendly and things like that. And that's why I think I loved it here so much, because I felt welcomed and everybody facilitated my stay. They helped make it easy for me. And that's why I'm adamant about trying to help make it easy for other people, because you don't want to come somewhere and be alone and have to
No,
struggle with it on your
absolutely,
own. It's
absolutely.
just so much better to have, groups. And I appreciate those Facebook groups and things like that because
Yeah,
people share a lot of good information. They're all trying to help each other. It's not
yeah.
just trying to do a sale or things like that.
No,
People are
no,
actually there
absolutely.
trying to help each other. So that part of technology I do like because it helps keep us connected when we're so far apart from everyone else. But
Agreed.
Mahbub, what I'd like to do at this point, do you have
Yep.
anything that you would like to let the viewers know that about yourself? If people want to get in touch with you, or if you have a YouTube channel, things like
Yep.
that,
Yep.
so that they can have. Do you have access to the chat on your computer? Can you see it?
Uh, I do. Let me type something and see if it comes across to the other side.
Okay.
I've just typed in hello. Has that come
Nope, I
up?
don't see it. Nope. Oh yeah, no, I don't see
No.
it. So maybe it didn't. No,
Okay. Okay.
it didn't
So
come up. So that's all right.
yeah.
I'll make sure you guys that I'll put, any contact information that you would like everybody to know about you. I can put that in the description box. So if you guys you got questions or you'd like to talk to him about his experience on that side of the pond, I know I'll be calm before I go. I'll be like, hey, we're coming that way. Make some recommendations. Um, yeah, just thank you for taking the time to talk
Absolute
about your
pleasure,
journey
Michelle.
with me. Um,
Absolutely, absolute
I
pleasure.
thought I thought we were going to see Noor today. What happened? She
You
changed her
know,
mind.
yeah, no. So she was really, really keen, but she just had a total meltdown because
She's tired.
the weather.
Yeah.
So she had two things. It was the heat, and she's got this rash which is all over her
Okay.
body and that. So it's so
Yeah.
she just had an emotional meltdown. She's like, oh, I can't take it. Oh, I didn't. So I'm just like, maybe just hang in there. Be all right. We'll
Yeah.
get some medication and stuff.
Well, yeah, and
Mattel,
the pharmacies are good. You
I
can go
was
talk
about
to
to
the
say that.
pharmacist.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well, guys. So um, that's that's another thing as well. Medication. Um, Try to do your due diligence in terms of the medications for your skin because the first thing that's going to get attacked is the skin. So
Right.
it just pays dividends in terms of trying to understand how skin works because everyone responds to medication differently. The
Right.
medication that you usually take will no longer work because you're in a different setting, you're in a different environment. So
Right.
it may require you to just sort of branch out and reach out to try different medications that work. It's
You do
just
what the
a different
pharmacist says. Do what
yeah,
the
yeah,
pharmacist says. Take what they
yeah.
tell you to take, because that's just
I
pretty
just
much
take
how
it.
it's been
Yeah.
for me. I think I had suffered a vitamin B. I was almost malnutrition, and I didn't realize it
Wow.
for a minute there until I started having the symptoms of it. And now my body needed the B12, B6. I need the nerve, the B complexes.
Yeah.
And I told him what my symptoms were immediately. They knew what to bring me and pop those vitamins for like 3 days, and I was back to normal. You
And
know,
that's so reassuring to know. It's just like, yeah, there you go. You need this. That's it.
yeah,
Okay, that's it.
whatever ailment I've had, the pharmacist
Yeah.
just knows it. I can say, well, I used to take Benadryl for this, and whatever
Yeah.
their version of Benadryl is, they'll give it to
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
but it's a much more affordable price, and it just
Yeah.
don't have all the chemicals. It just doesn't have all the stuff that it had in
Yeah.
it in the West, but still works.
Yeah.
So just trust your
Amazing.
pharmacist, you guys. Find you a good one. But go ahead. In closing, what would you like to
Um,
say?
Yeah, so in closing, guys, if you want to ask me anything, and just reach out to me. I'm available. I'm on social media platforms with Facebook, Instagram at the moment, and YouTube. You can find me at the People's Coach, spelt with a Z, on Instagram. You can find me Mahbub Choudhury on Facebook. And what else? Yeah, so please, by all means, feel free to just ask me if there's any questions that you're curious to know, and I'll try my best to respond ASAP. If I don't have the answers, I will do my best to find out and help and assist you. I also
Okay.
think I've joined up with one of the Facebook um, groups in terms of just to navigate around Egypt more effectively. So that
Right.
helps as well. So yeah, there's so much information out there. But what I would say is, yeah, just network with them people, do your due diligence. But at the end of the day, a decision has to be made by
Yeah.
yourself. If you want to go on this journey, it's an amazing journey. I would highly recommend it.
Yes.
Position yourself where you're able to do just that, and get your network of people, your support system mechanism to help you transition to the next stage of your life.
Right.
It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's wonderful if you got those right people around you. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I say, guys. Matrell, thank you so much for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure meeting you as well. Just
Thank you.
getting to know you that much more and better. So yeah, I'll touch base with you definitely from time to time. Definitely,
Sure.
absolutely, Matrell. Thank you for
Yeah.
having me on. Much appreciated.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to everyone that is here watching and everyone who's going to be watching the replay. We do appreciate you guys. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I guess it's safe to say that you're happy with your decision to come to Egypt then.
Absolutely,
Awesome.
100%.
That's good. Well, welcome to Egypt. We're glad to have you. Look forward to.
Glad to be
I'm looking
here.
here. I'm going to follow your YouTube because in case you start
Same
filming
here,
some
same
stuff,
here,
kind of see
same
what's
here.
going on there. And yeah, but yeah, thanks a lot. And say hello to the rest of the family for me.
Will
And
do.
guys, I'm out. If you like this live stream today, do me a favor and please give it a like. Share it on your network so other people can learn about it as well. And just know I appreciate you guys. Bye.
See you there. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Let me figure out how to turn it off. Okay.